Let's go to the 30th question. Two statements S1 and S2 are given below with regard to two numbers followed by a question. S1, their product is 21. S2, their sum is 10. This should be S2, okay? Their sum is 10. So what are the two numbers? So they say the product is 21. So immediately it comes to our mind that 7 into 3 is 21. So are 7 and 3 those two numbers? So is S1 alone sufficient to answer this question? What are those two numbers? What about 21 into 1? Isn't that also 21? Or 1 and 1 into 21? So 21 and 1 can also be those two numbers. So we don't still know whether those numbers are 3 and 7 or 1 and 21. So let's see whether S2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. They say that the sum is 10. But what about 4 and 6? Its sum is 10. What about 5 and 5? What about 8 and 2? What about 3 plus 7? So we don't have a conclusive answer. Any two number, there are different combinations whose sum is 10. But when we work this out together, when S1 and S2 are brought in together, we know that the possible combinations are 7, 3 and 21, 1. Now if we see the sum of these possibilities, 7 plus 3, the sum is 10. 21 plus 1, unfortunately the sum is 22 and not 10. So 7 plus 3, this is the combination which you are looking for. So 7, 3 is the answer, and sorry, it's not the answer, it's the combination. So our right answer would be, but we are able to answer the question, what are those two numbers? So the option D is the right answer. S1 and S2 together are sufficient to answer the question. So we have the 31st question. A man walks down the backside of his house straight 25 meters, then turns to the right and walks 50 meters again. He then turns towards the left and again walks 25 meters. If his house faces to the east, what is his direction from the starting point? See, so we know where is north, west, east, south, right? So this is north, south, east and west. His house faces towards the east. So his house is something like this. It faces towards the east. But the very important thing we need to note down here is that the man walks down the back side of his house. That is, he starts walking like this and not from the front door like this, not this. Okay. So now we will draw. Straight he walks for 25 meters. That's fine. Then he turns to the right and walks 50 meters. Right and 50 meters. That's also fine. Then he again turns towards his left and walks 25 meters. This is the left. If his house faces to the east, what is his direction from the starting point? He started somewhere over here. His direction is over here. So if we draw a line, then this is towards the northwest. So option D is the right answer. The 32nd question. Two statements are given followed by two conclusions. Statements: all numbers are divisible by 2. All numbers are divisible by 3. Conclusion 1. All numbers are divisible by 6. Conclusion 2. All numbers are divisible by 4. Which of the following conclusions logically follow from the two given statements? Option A, only conclusion 1. Option B, only conclusion 2. Option C, neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2. Or option D, both conclusion 1 and conclusion 2. Okay. So we have this first statement, all numbers are divisible by 2, and second statement, all numbers are divisible by 3. So which are these numbers? Are divisible by both 2 and 3. So that would be the multiples of the LCM of these two numbers. So if we say 2 and 3, then the LCM of 2 and 3 would be 2, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1. So that would be 2 into 3 is equal to 6. So all the multiples of 6 will be divisible by both 2 and 3. So you take any multiple of 3 for your convenience. For example, say 12. 12 is divisible by 2 and also 12 is divisible by 3. 3 will give you 4. Okay. So we know that the conclusion 1 is true. Conclusion 1 is all numbers are divisible by 6, which is given over here. All numbers are divisible by 6. Okay. Conclusion 2. Let's check the conclusion 2. All numbers are divisible by 4. See, if any number is divisible by 4, it also means that it is divisible by 2. 12 by 4 is also, you can also divide it by 2. Okay, you will get it as 6. See, these numbers are divisible by 2 and 3. So not all numbers are divisible by 4. Okay. For example, if the number is say 18, the required condition is that it has to be divisible by 2 or 3. So we take multiples of 6. Like 18 is a multiple of 6. But 18 is not divisible by 4. It will give you a remainder of 2. So the conclusion 2 is false. It doesn't hold good. All numbers are not divisible by 4. So only conclusion 1 is true. That is, option A is the right answer. 33rd question. Two statements are given followed by two conclusions. Statements: all cats are dogs. All cats are black. Conclusion 1. All dogs are black. Conclusion 2. Some dogs are not black. So, which of the above conclusions logically follows from the two given statements, disregarding the commonly known facts? Option A, only conclusion 1, B, only 2, C, neither 1 nor 2, or D, both 1 and 2. So let's try to draw a sort of a Venn diagram to answer this question. So they say all cats are dogs. So C for cats. And let's enclose it within a larger circle, just touching the periphery of C, reserved for dogs. DOGS. And this is cats. And let's draw one more circle based on statement 2. All cats are black. Now you can't draw this black thing within this D thing over here, because we don't know whether it falls within the D thing or whether it comes out of it. But we know that it encompasses of all the area which is occupied by cats, because all cats are black. So I'll just remove this. So I have to cover the entire cat thing, and I will take another bubble here which also covers cats and also this exterior portion, and I'll call it as black. So now let's go to the conclusion. All dogs are black. All dogs need not be black. It may be or may not be. Okay. So instead of drawing this circle over B over here outside for being on the safer side, we could also have had the situation can also be that this black thing comes over in and engulfs the entire dog circle. It could have been something like this as well. Black could have been something like this. But we are assuming, but we should always assume that the newer the circles which we draw have nothing to do with the circles which we have already drawn, until and unless it is explicitly given. So all dogs are black, we can't say it conclusively, because the black circle may extend to the exterior, to the area outside of these two circles which are already drawn. Conclusion 2. Some dogs are not black. Well, we can't conclude this as well, because as I said, this black circle can encompass the entire dog circle. We just do not have enough data yet. So I think the answer should be C. Neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 is satisfied. In the 34th question, consider the following sequence of numbers 5, 1, 4, 7, so on. How many odd numbers are followed by the odd number in the above sequence? So say you have number like 3, 5, 7, and then you have 6. They say how many odd numbers are followed by odd numbers. So 3 is followed by an odd number, 5 is followed by an odd number, 3 which is an odd number is followed by an odd number, 5 which is an odd number is followed by an odd number, 7 which is an odd number is not followed by an odd number. Okay, so here although we have 3 odd numbers, our answer is 2 and not 3. Okay, so this is just a basic logic I gave. So let's try to find the solution. And okay, here we have 5 which is followed by 1, so we pick it out. We have 7 which is followed by 3, we pick that out too. We have 3 is a prime number, is an odd number which is followed by 9, so we pick that out too. And 5 is also followed by 7, so we pick that out. 3 is followed by 1, we pick it out. 1 is followed by 5, so we pick that out as well. Then next we reach 5 and 2, 4, 3, 9. No, that's it. That's the end of it. So just spot all the odd numbers and see whether it's followed by an odd number. Okay, I think that is it. So we got our answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 6 should be the answer, option B. But our right answer is option B, that is 6. Question number 35, we have A is 16th from the left end in a row of boys and V is 18th from the right end. G is 11th from A towards the right and 3rd from V towards the right end. How many boys are there in a row? So let us go through the statements one by one. A is 16th from the left end. So that would mean that there are 15 persons to the left of A when I start counting from the left. And V is 18th from the right end. We don't know where V is, so we'll draw somewhere over here. And we have 18 people to the right of V. Then we have the next statement. G is 11th from A towards the right end. So if A's position is 16th, then at 27th position we have this guy called G. And G is also 3rd from V towards the right end. So G is somewhere over here and is 3rd from V. That means V is at the 24th position. And when you add 3, you get the 27th position of G. G is to the right end of V. How many boys are there in the row? We know that from V onwards, V occupies the 24th position, and from V onwards there are 17 more people. Okay, so this is the thing, 17 people from V. Okay, I have written it over here somewhere. This should have been 7. Okay, so we get our answer here, that is 24 plus 17, that is 41. V is at 24th position and there are still 17 more boys to go, so which is option B. So we have the 36th question here. 3 statements S1, S2 and S3 are given below, followed by a question. S1, C is younger than D but older than A and B. S2, D is the oldest. S3. A is older than B. Question: who among A, B, C and D is the youngest? Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements and question? Option A, S1 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Option B, S1 and S2 together are sufficient to answer the question. Option C, S2 and S3 together are sufficient to answer the question. Or option D, S1 and S3 together are sufficient to answer the question. So let's try to work out all the options. Like first, let's go through the option A. S1 alone is sufficient to answer the question. S1 says C is younger than D. If you see here, S1, it says that C is younger than D but older than A and B. But here we have to find out who is the youngest. It doesn't answer that question. See, so for example, C is younger than D but older than A and B. So we assign some place for A and B over here. Okay. We don't know which one of these is A or B. If this is A, then this is B, and if this is B, then this is A. So we don't know who is the youngest one. We need to know who stands at this place, the youngest place. Youngest. Only thing we come to know from statement S1 is that D is the oldest. So I'll erase this and no, I'll keep it. So S2 tells us that D is the oldest, but even from S1 we come to know that D is the oldest. So there's nothing new. There's no new information being provided to us by S2. S2 here saying that D is the oldest. Let's go through S3. I think S1 and S3 should help us out. So what is S3 saying? S3 is telling us that A is older than B. S3 here tells us that A is older than B. So if we combine that with the information provided to us by S1, then this particular thing would transform into A is older than B. So A is over here and B is over here and C is over here and D is over here. So we come to know that B is the youngest. So S1 and S3 together are sufficient to answer the question. So option D is the right answer. So we have the 37th question. How many integers are there between 1 and 100 which have 4 as a digit but are not divisible by 4? Option A 5, option B 11, option C 12 and option D 13. So which are these digits which have 4 as a number from 1 to 100? That is digits like 4, 14, 24, 34, I won't write 44, I'll write 54, 64, 74, 84, 94. They all have 4 in them in the units place. Okay, so now I would move on to those digits which have 4 in their tens place. These are 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Actually you can solve this question mentally till 49. But anyways, I'm working it out. So from 4 to 94, for every alternate 4 in the units place is divisible by 4. Like 4 is divisible by 4 and after that you will get 24 which is divisible by 4. 34 is not divisible, 44 is divisible, 54 is not divisible, 64 is divisible, 74 is not divisible, 84 is divisible. Okay. So we are having 10 such numbers, out of which 5 are divisible by 4 and 5 are not divisible by 4. And this 5 which are not divisible by 4, we'll add it on to other numbers. we had 44 over here, which is actually divisible by 4 and does not come into the count. So if you see this, if you see the numbers where we see 4 in the tens place, we have numbers like 40, 41, 42, etc. Out of these, only 40, 44 and 48 are divisible by 4. So out of the 10 numbers, there are only 3 numbers which are divisible by 4 and 7 are not divisible by 4. This 7 we need to add it with 5. So we have 12 numbers we have 12 integers which have 4 as a digit in them but are not divisible by 4. So option C is the right answer. In the 38th question, we have let x and y be the volumes, m and n be the masses of two metallic cubes p and q respectively. Each side of q is 2 times that of p and mass of q is 2 times that of p. Let u is equal to m by x and v is equal to n by y. Which one of the following is correct? So let's check it out. So let's go through each condition. First condition says that m and n are the masses. Each side of q is 2 times that of p. Okay, so I'll draw these cubes here. Not necessary, but yet. So x and y are its volumes. I'll write that down as well to avoid confusion. Volume is equal to x, volume is equal to y, mass is equal to m and n, mass is equal to n. Each side of q is 2 times that of p. So let the side of p be g. So this will be 2g, right? And mass of q is 2 times that of p. Mass of q is n. So they're saying that n is equal to 2m. So we have it over here, n is equal to 2m. So what is the formula for volume? The volume of a cube, it is the cube of its sides. So that means x is equal to g cube. So I have shown you here that this particular thing is g. So x, that is the volume, is g cube, volume of p, and y, which is the volume of q is 2g cube, which is nothing but 8 multiplied by g cube. Okay, so what other conditions have they given? Okay, that is u is equal to m by x and v is equal to n by y. We will work that out. They have given us some more data. They have told us that v is equal to u is equal to m by x. Okay, so that's okay. And one more data they have given us is that v is equal to n by y. So if I come down further, then I'll replace this m and x by whatever value I know it of to be. Like this would be something like u is equal to m by g cube, and here we have v is equal to n by 8g cube. So I'll go down further, but before that we also know that n is equal to 2m. So by that we have v is equal to 2m by 8g cube, which is nothing but, if I write it down to the left hand side, it is v is equal to m by 4g cube, which is again nothing but v is equal to 1 by 4u, or u is equal to 4v, which is option D. So option A. So option A is the right answer. U is equal to 4v. 39th question. The average age of a teacher and 3 students is 20 years. If all the 3 students are of the same age and the difference between the age of the teacher and each student is 20 years, then what is the age of the teacher? So guys, here we have, they say that there is a teacher and there are 3 students. So totally there are 4 people and their average age is 20 years. So that means their total age is 80 years. Also they say that the 3 students are of the same age. If their age is assumed to be x, then we have 3x plus y is equal to 80. The difference between the age of the teacher and each student is 20 years. Y is the teacher's age and teacher is elder to the student. So we have like y minus x is equal to 20. Okay. Then so they're asking what is the value of y, that is what is the age of the teacher. So we'll work these equations. Instead of writing it this way, I can also write it as x minus y is equal to minus 20, right? So you add this 3x plus x, then you get 4x. Y plus minus y, that is 0. That is 4x is equal to 80 minus 20, that is 60. So x is 15. Okay. And y is 80 minus 3x. That we got from this particular equation. Okay. So which is 80 minus 3 into 15, which is 80 minus 45, which is 35. So the teacher is 35 years old, which is option C. 40th question. A person bought a car and sold it for rupees 3 lakh. If he incurred a loss of 20%, then how much did he spend to buy the car? So pretty simple question actually. So if you buy a car for 100 rupees and if you suffer a loss of 20%, then you have sold it for 80 rupees. So this rupees 3 lakh will stand in this 80s position, 3 lakh. And they're asking us what is this 100. This would be nothing but 3 lakh into 100 by 80. So 3L into 100 by 80 is equal to 3 into, this is 4 and this is 5, 3 into 5 by 4, which is nothing but 15 by 4. So I'll write it down here, which is in fact nothing but 3.75 in terms of lakhs. So option D is the right answer.